Hi and welcome to this month's tutorial that is the Ruffled Autumn Mushroom, which is a gorgeous textured make that is absolutely adorable and such a joy to make. So without further ado, let's go to the materials. To make the Ruffled Autumn Mushroom, you will need 2 colors of yarn. I have gone with Cream and Limestone from Yarn & Colors and their brand must-haves. You will also need a darning needle and some stitch markers to keep track of your stitches, and of course a scissor, a hook that goes with the yarn. I'm using a 3mm, and then also some fiber stuffing. So yeah, pick out your colors and meet me up for round number 1. To begin the mushroom stalk, we need to do a magic circle or a chain circle if you prefer that, absolutely. And then we are going to work 6 single crochets into it, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like that. And now we're closing our magic circle. So I don't fasten off my ends just yet. I will wait one more round to have a little bit more to work in. So I will simply slip stitch into the first stitch and close the round like that, and then we'll carry on with round number 2. So round number 2 is an increasing round. We are working 2 single crochets into each of the stitches around, taking it from 6 single crochets to 12, okay? So we do a chain start for the height. That is not part of the pattern, it's just for the height. So we are doing 2 single crochets into this first one. 1 and 2, and carrying on. 3 and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12, like that. So now I just tighten the center, closing with a slip stitch into the first stitch, and then I will fasten off my ends on the back side. So do that and meet me up for round number 3. Round number 3 is also an increase round, and now we're working 1 single crochet in the next stitch, 2 in the other, and just repeating our way around. So we go from 12 single crochets to 18, okay? So start with your starting chain and then work a single crochet into the next stitch, like so, and then do an increase in the next 1 and 2. If you want to, you can place a stitch mark into the first one to keep track, but I will just carry on. Just be careful and count your stitches so you have exactly 18 before finishing this round, okay? So we are doing a single crochet in the next stitch, and then increase in the next that follows, increasing every other stitch. So 1 and 1, 2, 1 and 1, 2. Just keep on going until you reach the end, and you should have 18 single crochets, like so. And the last 2 stitches, 17 and 18. And then you close the round with a slip stitch into the first stitch. So do that and meet me up for round number 4. So round number 4 and 5 are exactly the same. We are working just building height a bit. So we're doing 1 single crochet in each stitch across for 2 rounds. So 36 single crochets in total, but 18 per round, okay? So we are doing just 1 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I have just finished my last stitch of round number 5. So we had 4 and 5, and now it starts to get this lovely little bowl shape, and we will now carry on with the decreasing rounds. But before we do that, just take a little bit of time and making sure that your stitches are nice and tight and there are no gaps. If there are a lot of gaps, the stuffing will be showing, especially if you're working with cotton. It's so unforgiving. Wool and acrylic are a little bit easier to work with due to the fuss that hides a little bit of the inside. But if you find yourself with lots of gaps, please try to go down a half hook size, maybe even 1 hook size if you find the need for it. And yeah, just make sure that you have a really nice and tight stitch placement, okay? It will save you time in the long run. So round number 6 is, as I said, a decreasing round, and it's a bit uneven in sequence, okay? So just follow me and we will go from 18 single crochets down to 13. We are decreasing 5 stitches in this one, okay? So into the first stitch, we're making a single crochet. You can go ahead and put a stitch mark in that if you want to keep track. And then we're doing a decrease. And the way I do it over the next 2 stitches is that I'm doing the invisible decrease method, which meaning we are going from the outside through the front line of the first stitch and through the front loop of the next. Grabbing the yarn, pulling through both, tighten, yarn over and pull through too. Like that. And now we have, as you can tell, 2 unworked stitches back there, the back loops of them. And we are just going to leave it like that. We are never going to think of them again, okay? So we are just working in the front loops to make it nice and even and a very beautiful texture, okay? So into the next 2 stitches, we're doing a single crochet. So 1 and 2, like that. And now we're repeating, so we are doing a decrease over the next 2, going through the front loops, grabbing the yarn, pulling through, tighten, and pull through. And then we're doing a single crochet in the next 2 stitches as well. So 1 and 2, followed by a decrease over the next 2. Like so. And then we're doing a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. And now comes the uneven sequence, okay? So we are doing a decrease over the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Tighten and pull through. But now we are only doing a single crochet, not 2. So we're doing a single crochet in the next stitch. And then we're doing a decrease over the last 2 stitches, okay? Like that. And now if we count, we should be back to our first stitch. So we are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So we are slip stitching into the first stitch of the round to close it. And it should be a little bow, like that. Gorgeous. So double check 13 stitches and then we carry on with round number 7. Round number 7, we are simply building height, so we are doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, making it 13 in total. So do that and meet me up for round number 8. Round number 8 is a decreasing round again. We are going from 13 single crochets down to 10 to make it gradually smaller, and this is the last decreasing round of the stalk. So to begin, we are making a single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So 1 and 2, like that. And then we're doing an invisible decrease over the next 2, going through the front loops and tighten, like that. and then we're doing 1 single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So we're doing 1, 2, and 3, like that, followed by a decrease over the next 2 stitches, and then a single crochet in the next 2, so 1 and 2, and then we should have 2 single crochets left. So we are doing a decrease over those, making it down to 10 single crochets. Okay, so just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Perfect. And then we simply close this round with a slip stitch into the first stitch. And it's about here that you can start filling your little bubble, the bottom of the mushroom. But I will not do that because it will be hard for you to see now. But if you want to, start now and then carry on throughout the stalk. Round number 9 to 13 is this little section where we build the height that goes up to the first ruffled layer. So we will do 5 rounds of single crochets. So we are simply doing a single crochet in each stitch around for 5 rounds in total, okay? So just carry on with 1 stitch in each, 5 rounds in total, and meet me up for round number 14. Have fun! So I now finished my 5 rounds of single crochets and started to stuff it so it has this lovely little drop shape. And what we will do now is we are going to create spaces for our ruffles to behold. We are not doing the ruffles now, we are doing that at a later stage. We are simply leaving the front loops of this round unworked for us to work in later. And if you look at the stitch, you have the little V shape. The one closest to you is the front loop. The one furthest from you is the back loop. And if you tilt your work, you can tell that there is a little line underneath the back loop. That is the third loop. So if you're using a thicker yarn or maybe a wool or something that has a little bit more give, you can actually place your single crochets of this round, I'm trying to show you, through those and make it a little bit more secure. My cotton will not allow that, so I will only go through the back loop and not the third loop as well. Okay. So we will simply put our hook through the back loop and make a single crochet as normal. So just do that all the way around and you will see that the unworked front loops will form a little line. And those are good to remember because we are going to work in them with our ruffles later on. But for now, we are simply doing back loop single crochets. And here you can now see the little line. If you want to, you can go ahead and put a stitch marker into the first loop so you can find it easily when we are doing the ruffles. I will leave mine because it will just get in the way as I continue on. We have now come to round 15 to 18 and we are doing again a single crochet in each stitch around. So 10 single crochets for 4 rounds in total, okay? So just keep on working, building our stalk, stitch by stitch. So do that for 4 rounds and meet me up to close. So we have now worked 4 rounds of single crochets and I have stuffed mine a little bit more. And we are now at the section where we have these little darling popcorns, or half double crochet popcorns, I would say. So I'm sorry, the light is coming and going today. It's cloudy and sunny all over. So now I had to turn on the headlight. I hope it's okay. I think it's better to see even though it's a very yellow light. But we are doing a chain 1 for the height as always, and then in the next stitch we are doing a single crochet like that. And then we're doing a 4 half double crochet popcorn into the next stitch. So we are simply going to start off by doing 4 half double crochets. So 1 into the same stitch, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. Then you drop the loop. You can count backwards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go through the loops of the first one. Grab the little loop, tighten and pull through the stitch to create your popcorn. And then chain 1 to close and tighten. And now it's important, we are doing this all the way around, so we'll have 5 popcorns and 5 single crochets by the end of it. And to keep this nice and not so gappy, we need to be quite tight with our single crochets. So we're doing a single crochet in the next stitch, and we are really making sure that the single crochet is so close to the stitch round as we can. So just be a little bit rough with it, okay? And then we're doing 4 half double crochets into the next stitch. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Dropping the loop, counting backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going through that first, grabbing the loop back, pulling tight and pulling through. And chain 1 to close. And then a single crochet in the next stitch, doing it tight. It's a little bit trickier to do it on camera, I must say. I think it will go very smoothly for you back home. But yeah, so do that 3 more times and meet me up to close. So we have now come all the way around. We have made our last little half double crochet popcorn, and you should have 5 half double crochet popcorns and 5 single crochets in between, okay? And to close this, we simply do the slip stitch through the first stitch, which was the single crochet of this round, like that. So for round number 20, we are doing something very simple, or it sounds simple. We are doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, meaning 10 single crochets. The tricky part of round 20 is that we are going to work our single crochets in the closing chain 1 space from the popcorn and not into the popcorn, okay? We're keeping those unworked and only working around the chain 1 space and into our single crochets. So just, if you're having a hard time seeing it, it should be the biggest loop that you can see plus your single crochet for each. So we are working 1 single crochet into the single crochet, like that. And then 1 single crochet into the chain 1 space of the popcorn. And into the single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then into the popcorn, not into the single crochet. Every other. So sorry, it's a little bit tricky to do on camera because I'm looking through the screen and not directly on my work. So I'll just carry on with this as you should too, all the way around, and meet me up to close. And we are going to double check that we have 10 single crochets and not any more, okay? See you in a bit. So when you have finished this round, it should look like this. Hopefully quite neat and tight as well, no gaps. So we are just double checking. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 single crochets. So just double check and make sure that you have 10 stitches and then close with a slip stitch to the first, like that. So for round 21 to 24, we are going to do as we have done before. We are simply building height with 1 single crochet in each stitch around for 4 rounds in total. So 10 single crochets, 4 rounds, carry on and meet me at the end of it. So I have now done 4 rounds of single crochets, just working my way up, and remembered to stuff as you go. And we are now up to the second segment, that is this little part. So we are doing exactly the same as here, leaving the front loops to work our ruffles in later on. So once again, we are doing single crochets in the back loops. And if you have a forgiving yarn or a thicker yarn, please use the third loop below as previously instructed here. So we are just doing them slow and simple. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 9, and 10. There we go. We have the fine little line here. And all we have to do is now slip stitching into the first stitch of the round to close it. Like that. So cute. And now we come to round 26 to 28, which meaning we are doing single crochets all the way around for 3 rounds in total. So we're working through the entire stage, normal single crochets, just 10 per round for 3 rounds, okay? So carry on and I'll meet you at the last one. See you in a bit. So here we go. We have now finished our 3 rounds of single crochets, 10 stitches, double check so it doesn't get smaller or wider. And because now we are at this lovely section, we are going to work all the way out here. And we are working with, for the most part, half double crochets. So yeah, close the round, stuff a little bit more and meet me up to carry on with the lower part of the hat section. So in round 29, we are working to widen our base here. So we are doing half double crochet increases in each stitch around. So that meaning 2 half double crochets into each stitch. We are going from 10 to 20 stitches in this round, which will make it flare out really lovely. So yeah, a very nice and calming round. Just carry on and meet me at the end. 19 and 20, like that. And then we just slip stitch into the first, securing it a bit. So by the end it should look like this. It should have flared out and become a very circular shape. And yeah, that's it. Let's carry on. For round 30, we are doing a half double crochet and then a half double crochet increase in every other stitch. So we are going from 20 to 30 stitches. So begin with 1 half double crochet in one stitch and then 2 half double crochets in the next. So we are just going with 1 half double crochet and then 2 in the next. Make sure that you have 30 half double crochets for round number 30 because we don't want to have too few or too many because then the hat and the base will not line up. So just make sure that you have the proper amount of stitches before we carry on. And again, close with a slip stitch to the first stitch of the round. Like that. Super cute. For round 31, we are going to keep on with our increases, going from 30 stitches to 40 now. So we are working 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches and then a half double crochet increase in the next. And then simply repeating that all the way around. So 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 half double crochet increase in the next. That is the pattern repeat. Just take it nice and slow and work your way around. So for round 32, we have come to this part where we are going to add some more texture. So we are creating these lines that are reaching down towards the stalk. And we are doing that with front post stitches. So yeah, grab your hook and let's begin. So what we will do is doing front post stitches around the stitches from round 29, which is down here, the first round of half double crochets increases that you did, and we are going to do them every other, so it's quite easy to carry on once you have found the first one, the placement of the first one. But before we do that, we are working 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches. Okay, so we are doing 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now I'm just yarning over in advance because we are doing a front post treble around the aligning stitch from round 21, which is this one. Do you see what I mean? Maybe I should show it a little bit clearer. So the next stitch is this one, so we are just following where it's placed all the way down to this one. So around that is where we are placing our front post treble. So we are yarning over twice and we are going down and around like so, grabbing the yarn, and just don't pull too tight, let it be a little bit, how do you say, slack, loose. It's not supposed to pull a lot, but it's supposed to be the same height as the other stitches. Okay, so this is the entire repeat. 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches and then a front post treble around the aligning stitch from round 29. So we are doing that, but just to make sure we are not skipping a stitch, we have a half double crochet in that, but not in that one. So we are going to start here with our repeat. It's hiding a little bit behind the front post treble that we just made. So 1, 2, 3 and 4, and now we are yarning over twice, and then we are finding our half double crochet. That will be this one, going around, not pulling too tight, just keeping it loose and soft, and let's see, there we go, like that. And now we're checking again, this is our next stitch. So we are doing a half double crochet in that one and in the next 3 other stitches, so 4 in total. 1, 2, 3 and 4, yarning over twice, going to our next half double crochet from round 29, and then just simply working our way up like that. So we are now at our last repeat, so we are working 1 half double crochet in the next 4 stitches, and this round will end with the front post treble, so don't miss that one. Just grab some more yarn. It's very easy to miss, but you can tell by the texture it would be so empty if we didn't have anyone there. So we are just finding this little guy there, and just, as you can tell, I'm keeping my first one a little bit longer than the others. So yeah, like that. And now we have finished our round 32. We should have 40 half double crochets and 10 front post trebles all the way around, and creating this gorgeous, gorgeous texture underneath. It just adds that little bit of extra, you know? I really like it. Gorgeous! So for round 33, that is the last of the stalk part, we are doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, which makes it now 50 stitches. So we are simply doing this because we will be fastening the hat to these stitches when we are doing the assembly later. So just do a single crochet in each stitch around. Just take it nice and slow, and just double check that you have 50 stitches in the end, because otherwise the hat will not line up. So yeah, do that and meet me up to close. See you soon. And there we go. I have done all my stitches all the way around, all 50 of them. And now instead of doing a slip stitch to the first stitch, I will actually do an invisible join. I don't know if you have done it, so I will just show you. I will just cut my yarn a bit, pull out the thread, and now I will go not into the first stitch but into the second stitch. I will go from the front to the back underneath the stitch, pulling through, pulling close so that they are placed next to each other, and this will create like this false little line of stitches that will be so neat and gorgeous. And then I will go through the back and second loop on the back side, down and tighten, not too much, you still want it to look all natural. And through the stitch that we are now hiding here with our fake stitch on top, I will just simply go with my needle down into my work, like that, tighten a little bit, making sure it looks good. And then I will work my way back and forth to secure my ends here. So yeah, do your fastening off and meet me up to continue with our next part, that is the hat. See you in a bit. So we have now finished our stalk and are about to begin on our little mushroom hat, and we're creating it from the top to the bottoms, ending up with the widest part that we will attach then to our base, which is so cute. So here you can have some fun. This one is crocheted all in the same color. This is birch, which is absolutely gorgeous. A little bit cooler gray, but still a little bit warmth in it as well. Maybe a lighter gray is a better description of it. And here I had some fun with actually having a pink undertone. You can see it's really hidden underneath, which I added layers to in different shades of pink, and I think this is birch too. Could be. And then I played up with the colors going through back in the stalk as well. This time I'm actually going for this golden kind of brownish color, which is limestone. I thought it could be nice as a complement to this one. So yeah, let's begin. So for round number 1, we are starting again with a magic circle, and you can of course use a chain ring start if you want to. And then into this one we are making 6 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, like that. And then we simply pull out our little yarn tail and close the ring. And this time we are not closing with a slip stitch into the first stitch, but we are continuing to work in spirals. So we are just marking the first stitch of the next round with a stitch marker. Round number 2 is an increasing round, so we are working every other a single crochet and then 2 single crochets in the next and increase. So we're starting in the first one and making a single crochet, and then in the next we are doing 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2, like that. And now I will just grab my little stitch marker and mark the first one so we don't end up with too many or too little stitches. So we are doing this again. So 1 single crochet in the next stitch. It's a little bit fiddly in the beginning, and 2 in the next. 1 and 2, like that. And then we're doing it one final time. So we should end up with 9 single crochets. So 1 in the next and 2 in the one that follows. Like that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Great. Let's keep on with round number 3. And for this round we are simply doing 1 single crochet in each stitch around, creating that little bowl shape that we're used to now. So let's begin. We are making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, make sure that your tension is nice and easy. 6, 7, 8, and our final one. 9. Almost there. So it's starting to get that little bulb shape. Go ahead and fasten off your ends now and meet me up for round number 4. Round number 4 is again an increasing round, so we are going from 9 single crochets to 12. So to do that, we are doing 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, followed by a single crochet increase in the following one. So that's the repeat. And we're going into the first one and making a single crochet, and in the next a single crochet, stopping 2 seconds to place our little stitch marker to keep track, and then carrying on with, we have done 1 and 2 single crochets, so now it's time for an increase. So we're making 2 single crochets into the next one here, 1 and 2, and then we are repeating. So 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2, keeping the tension tight, and then an increase in the next. It's a little bit fiddly to do on camera, but it works. I haven't filmed in a long time, so a single crochet in the next 2. It's fun to get back to it, but it has been a little while, so I'm a bit rusty. And then we're doing an increase in the last stitch, like so. So we should now end up with 12 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So if you have the same stitch count as me, just go ahead and follow along to round number 5. This round we are switching our single crochets for half double crochets, and it's an increasing round, so we will do a pattern of 1 half double crochet in the next stitch and then a half double crochet increase in the other, and that is the repeat. So we are going from 12 to 18 stitches. Okay, so let's begin with a half double crochet in the next stitch and then an increase in the other, meaning 2 half double crochets into that one. So 1 and 2, and then a half double crochet in the next, followed by 2 in the other. So just keep this all the way around and meet me up to close. So that's the end of round number 5, and we are not working in spirals anymore, so we are going to close with a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round and chaining 1. And what we will do now is we are creating space holders for our ruffles, just as we did here. So the next round, round number 6, is indeed a back loop round. So we are doing back loop half double crochets in each stitch around, starting with this one. And now I can see both my front loop, my back loop, and the second loop on the back. So I'm going into both of them to create a holding space, like so. It's a little bit more sturdier than just going into the back loop. So you can choose how you want to do, but I think it's quite smooth, especially now when we are working half double crochets. They are a little bit looser, so it's easier to get in there. So we are just going under the 2 of them, as you can see, leaving the front loop for us to attach our ruffles, and then just carrying on for all 18 stitches. Okay, do that and meet me up to close. So when you have finished your 18 back loop half double crochets, it should look like this. So to close, we are simply doing a little slip stitch into the first stitch, like so. And then we carry on with round number 7. Now we are working in the entire stitch again, and it's an increasing round. We're doing every other now. So for this one, we are working 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, followed by an increase in the third. Okay, so 1 2, and then an increase, 1 and 2, like that, and then we repeat. So 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, followed by an increase in the next. And by doing this repeat, we are going from 18 to 24 half double crochets, and keep on building the wideness of our little darling hat. So do that all the way around and close with a slip stitch to the first stitch. For round number 8, we are doing this section again, meaning we are doing back loop half double crochets all the way around, 24 in total this time. So go through the back loop and make a half double crochet. And the second one also, of course, if you can, just to make it a little bit sturdier. So yeah, it's a nice and calming round. Go all the way around and close with a slip stitch to the first stitch. So for round number 9, we are doing increases again, working in the entire stitch. So we are doing 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, followed by an increase in the 4th. That is the repeat. So 1 half double crochet, 2, 3, and then an increase in the 4th. So 1 and 2, like that. I will follow you along with one more. So 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, 2 and 3, followed by an increase in the next. Like that. So keep on going all the way around and you should end up with 30 half double crochets by the end of it. For round number 10, we are doing the back loops again. So we are doing 30 back loop half double crochets this time. So we are simply doing what we had done before with just a little bit more of a stitch count this time. So yeah, keep on going, take it nice and slow, and meet me up for round number 11. And it grows really quickly now, so it's really fun. I like this part. Nice and easy and calm. So for round number 11, we are doing increases again, but this time we are doing 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, followed by an increase. So we are going from 30 to 40 half double crochets. And I know I'm on you about the stitch count, but it's really important because otherwise it will not match up in the end. So just take it nice and slow and make sure that you have the correct number by the end. We are going to land on 50, just so you know. So 1 half double crochet in the next 2 stitches, followed by an increase. So it's such a calming pattern in one way. I usually crochet squares, but I just had the mood to make a mushroom suddenly. I blame it on the autumn. So yeah, just keep on going and I'll meet you back for round number 12. So we are now on to the second to last round of the hat, and we are creating one more section of these little gorgeous lines that we will put our ruffles in. So just go ahead and make back loop half double crochets all the way around one more time, and then we are done with the back loops, I promise. So yeah, carry on and I'll meet you for the final round, okay? Have fun! So we're at the final stretch, and now we're making again an increasing round because we're going from 40 half double crochets to 50. So for this round we are making 1 half double crochet in the next 3 stitches, followed by an increase in the 4th. So just carry on with 1, 2 and 3, and then we do an increase in the next. So 2 half double crochets into that one, like that. And then we carry on again, so 1 half double crochet into the next 3 stitches, followed by the increase. So keep on with this repeat all the way around, making sure that you have 50 half double crochets by the end of it, and fasten off your ends and meet me up for the next part. So we are now going to begin our little ruffle adventure, and it will take a little bit of time, and please be careful to not hurt your joints, your wrists. So take it nice and slow, and if you need a break, take a break please, okay? Because we're doing lots and lots of stitches here, as you can tell by these. So here is where you can have fun. I will carry on with the same color as I have, which is the limestone, giving it this kind of layered textured effect. But you could do a rainbow version. You could do, I have done a dual tone for this one, and I think this is the self-striping yarn, which I ended up not making as self-striping, but this is also a 2 or 3 tonal kind of layered texture. Choose what you like best and prefer, and let's get going. We are starting down here. For round number 1, we are beginning here in the stitches from round number 9, and we are doing triple trebles, which gives us this kind of organic, wild feel, and it's sticking out a little bit more on this one than on that one. Do you know why? Because I did the triple treble here and I only did trebles here. So depending on the look you are going for, this is exactly the same yarn, the same hook, but this one looks a little bit more organically shaped, I think, not so neat. And this one has a very clear profile that is rounded and everything. So you can choose what look you want to go for, but in this tutorial and on all of my upcoming mushrooms, I will do triple trebles for them. So yeah, follow along and let's begin. So as we want our ruffles to be facing us when we have finished, meaning you want the stitches to be visible from above, we are going to keep the hat towards us when we are working. I'm going to flip this over and find a stitch in the back, and then I will just do a standing triple treble, meaning yarning over 3 times. If you don't know how to do standing stitches or find them a bit tricky to begin with, please start with a slip stitch and a chain 4 to get the same height as a triple treble, okay? So I will not go into the last or the first, I will go into one of the other stitches, making it a little bit neater to join later on. But I will just go into the stitch and pull through 2, pull through 2. I'm holding my fingers on the tail to keep it nice and tight, the tension, and then just going through the last one, like that. And then we will repeat, so we will yarn over 3 times, and we will work another triple treble into the same loop. And we will do this 4 times for each stitch, which means we will end up with, I have to sneak peek, 160. So yeah, so just take it nice and slow and take breaks if you need to. And you can of course start from the other way around too, starting with the smaller stitches and working your way down, meaning going from here to here. But I think it's nice to actually have this section done first, because then it just gets easier for every step you go. And that's just me. You can choose however you want to. But yeah, keep on going, working 4 triple trebles in each stitch around. It doesn't matter if it's not exactly that, but it helps. It will create this lovely little ruffle shape. So have fun, and I'll see you at the closing. So I have now come all the way around, and you don't have to double check your stitches this time, I promise. Just make sure that it is as ruffled as you want it to be. And if you find it a bit stiff, I don't find mine, but if you do, maybe you have a tight tension and have to go up a hook size or so. So just play around with it and see where it will take you. I will simply cut my yarn and fasten off with an invisible stitch to the second here, and then going down here to just fasten off. And then we keep on with our next layer that is a lot simpler. It's double crochets, okay? So yeah, do that and meet me up for round number 2. For round number 2, I keep on going with the same yarn as I did the previous round. We are now going to work in the front loops of round number 9, which is here. And then again, I will not start exactly in the join. I will start a little bit to the side. You can choose a good place for it. And then I'm doing a standing double crochet. You can do a slip stitch and then a chain 3, 2 or 3 for the height of a double crochet. So now we are going to repeat what we did here. We are simply doing 4 double crochets into each loop. And don't worry that it stretches a lot out from the base. As you can tell, there is a little bit of a room here now, or quite a large one. It doesn't show when you're finished. It will lie nice and flat, and it will actually just be easier for you to work in them. So just trust the process and keep on going. 4 stitches into each little loop, and it will give you, if you want to count, 120 double crochets. And in the beginning it will look a little bit flat, but it will sort itself out, I promise. As you go, the stitches will gather and they will create that lovely little ruffle that we have come to love. So simply keep on going and meet me up to close. And here we go. We have now finished our second layer of the ruffles, and it's looking so good. I think it's so cute. This is such a fun part. I do love doing the stalk as well, but this one is just, yeah, it sings to me. So let's get our stuff and continue on with round number 3. So for round number 3, we are working half double crochets into the front loop stitches from round number 5. And we are placing 4 in each, all the way around. So remember to have your mushroom facing towards you and not the opening, otherwise they will be facing down the stitches and it's not as cute. So I'm doing a standing half double crochet, but you can of course do a slip stitch and chain 1 if you want to. So just go ahead and do 4 half double crochets into each stitch around. Just take it nice and slow and have fun with it. And here we have it, the finished round number 3. It looks so luscious and gorgeous, and I love how this pokes out a little bit more than these two. So it creates a really nice effect. So go ahead and fasten off your ends. I will do the invisible join to the second stitch as always and meet me up for round number 4. So we have now arrived at round number 4 and we are creating single crochets and chain spaces to make the final little ruffled line on the top. So begin in any stitch you want, preferably to the back, and make a single crochet like that. And then you chain 2, and then you make another single crochet around the same, around the same loop, like that. And then you just carry around doing the same all the way around. So single crochet, tighten, chain 2, and a single crochet. It creates these lovely little picot peaks, 4 picot because it's not a picot, but it adds just that extra little layer of texture. So we are just doing single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. And I think it's such a fun way to end it up here because it adds that little extra. And I think I got a little bit bored of doing 4 of every stitch for all of these rounds, so I needed to do something else for the top one, just to get a little bit of a break and a lovely texture, of course. So yeah, do this all the way around and meet me up to close. And just like that, we have finished our top layer of the ruffles. It will be, let's see, 36 single crochets and 18 chain 2 spaces, but who's counting at this point, right? As long as it looks ruffled and wonderful, it will be fine. So yeah, fasten off your ends and meet me back for the assembly. So for the assembly, we need, of course, our little hat that is filled with ruffles and our stalk. And this needs to be filled up to this point by now, because otherwise it would be very tricky further along. So do make sure that you have done that before proceeding with the next step. So to begin, we simply line our back pieces. You can see where the line goes or feel it where your join is. And same here, you can feel approximately where it is. So simply just line these two up, and then with the same color as the one you have for your hat, go through both layers and make a slip stitch. Like that. And then you just carry on working through both layers, stitch by stitch, take it nice and slow. We are going to leave about this size of an opening to finish the stuffing. So work a few more stitches and meet me up and I'll show you, okay? See you in a bit. So this is how I have stuffed mine. I will just show you before closing up. I have put quite a lot of stuffing up in here, making sure that this one is filled as well, the little points, so it doesn't collapse. And I always do a little bit more than I think I should, because it will be compressed with time. So just put everything in there, close it together and slip stitch all the way back to here. So here we are. I have just closed up with a slip stitch into the first stitch, because we are going to add ruffles here too to hide this little line, okay? So we are not done with the ruffles just yet. We are going to continue on in the heads of the slip stitches that we just made. So take a little break if you need to, and then let's carry on with step number 2. Okay, so it's a little bit tricky to see now because there are so much going on in this frame, but we are focusing on here in the heads of the slip stitches that we just made. I have chained 1 for the height, and then I'm going ahead and doing 3 double crochets into this stitch. 2 and 3, like that. And this is all that we are going to do for this round, meaning we're doing the exactly same thing for all of the 50 stitches. So we are placing 150 double crochets around here. So just keep on doing this, 3 double crochets each stitch around, and meet me up to close. And now we have come all the way around, and it should look like this. I fastened off with an invisible join to the second stitch and hid it in the ends of the stitches. So it's really gorgeous. It has lots of ruffles, and we are almost finished now. We only have these 2 spaces left. So yeah, let's get on with the last 2 rounds. So for the ruffle sections here, I'm actually going with the cream as I did on this one. So in the front loops from round 13, we are working a section of half double crochets and chain stitches. So begin in any one that you like, preferably to the back, and then do a standing half double crochet. Sorry, it was a bit messy, but like this. You can also slip stitch and chain 1 for the height, okay? And then you're chaining 1, and then you're doing another half double crochet in here, like so. Chain 1 and a half double crochet. This is a little bit tricky to show, but I hope you can tell what I'm doing. So this is the repeat: a half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet, chain 1, half double crochet. And we are repeating that all the way around and just creating this little airy ruffle section. So go all the way around and close with an invisible join to the second stitch, which will be the first chain 1, and then fasten off the ends either underneath the line here or just go through the stem back and forth a few times. And now we have finished our first little ruffle round on the stalk, and it looks absolutely adorable. And you should have a stitch count of 30 half double crochets and 20 chain one spaces for this one. Gorgeous! So now we are at our very last little section of this mushroom. I have had such a blast. I hope you're having a lovely time too. What you do here is you start with a standing double crochet, or you can do a slip stitch and chain 3 to the height of a double crochet. And then you do exactly as you did on the other round, meaning you are doing a double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, double crochet in each stitch around, which should give you a total of 30 double crochets and 20 chain 1 spaces. It is a bit tricky to show on camera. I don't know, I have tried different ways now, but it looks just a bit too messy. So I will just go ahead and show you one time. Like this. Adorable. So go ahead and go all the way around, fasten off your ends, and meet me up for the final words. And there we have it, our ruffled autumn mushrooms are finished. I hope you have had a lovely time. And if you like this tutorial, please give us a thumbs up, leave a little comment below, subscribe to our channel, and turn the notifications on because more crochet fun is coming your way. Until next time!